Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for our WSQ Graduate Diploma in Precision Engineering. Before we begin, I would like to start with a corporate video. Have a look, please.
Technology to maintain their competitiveness and professional competency in the shortest time possible. In such a dynamic environment, the need for real-time and forward-thinking training is crucial. To address this immediate needs, the A-Star Singapore Institute of Manufacturing Technology, or SIMTech, and SkillsFuture Singapore have come together to provide relevant technology-based training for the manufacturing industry.
Singapore Institute of Manufacturing Technology, or SIMTech, is a public research institute under the Agency for Science, Technology and Research, or A-Star. SIMTech's mission is to develop high-value manufacturing technologies and human capital to enhance the competitiveness of Singapore industry. Through a strategic collaboration with industry partners and R&D efforts over the years, SIMTech has generated in-depth knowledge and capabilities through over 300 industry projects annually. This know-how and experience allow our researchers to transfer and upgrade workforce skills aimed at productivity improvement and business transformation. In partnership with the SkillsFuture Singapore, SIMTech has been upskilling and reskilling the industry since 2008 through a wide range of industrial training programs under the Skills Framework using an innovative learn, practice and implement training model. Through more than 10 years of growth, we now train more than 1,000 professionals annually. This program helped the industry to be future-ready in today's technology workforce, where digital transformation has accelerated, and the key to adopting new technologies is through workforce reskilling and upskilling.
Other than delivering timely, case study-based curriculum, the Knowledge Transfer Office also provides hands-on practical training combined with industry best practices. Participants also have access to SIMTech's state-of-the-art labs to learn about the latest technological advancement to equip themselves with new skills. For example, WSQ Operation Management Innovation Program, or OMNI, which helps companies align process to company strategies and helps many companies to make significant improvement in operational productivity, efficiency, and effectiveness. The team has further developed the Digital Transformation and Innovation, or DTI program, to train and guide key personnel of organizations to be digital transformers in leveraging digital technologies to accelerate business model changes and achieve meaningful digital transformation. Using the DTI methodology, participants will learn to analyze and redesign your strategies, business model, value streams, and system architecture to ensure greater alignment, unlock new business growth, and achieve sustainable competitive advantage. As companies continue to benefit from SIMTech's unique courses and manufacturing expertise, the Knowledge Transfer Office at SIMTech is fast becoming recognized as Singapore's one-stop destination for manufacturing skills competency training by offering a wide range of courses and modules. The Knowledge Transfer Office helps industry in continuous education of their manufacturing professionals, managers, engineers, and technicians in the manufacturing sector. By collaborating with SSG, the Knowledge Transfer Office of SIMTech offers a number of SSG-certified WSQ courses, each designed to cater to the respective local industry sector.
I would like to congratulate all the SIMTech graduates for the successful completion of your training. Starting something is easy, seeing it through is difficult. So, I congratulate each of you for seizing the opportunity to learn and upgrade, and for persevering to the end. I'm confident that you have benefited from SIMTech's learn, practice, and implement approach, not just in updating your skill sets, but also in acquiring the mentality to continuously learn new skills, practice them, and then put them to good use in your profession and for your role in the workplace. Your successful graduation also gives us, at SkillsFuture Singapore, the confidence that our programs and partnerships have delivered value to you as individuals and to your companies. SSG will continue to partner SimTech to deliver impactful and industry-relevant training and to equip our workforce with in-demand and emerging skills. So, congratulations once again. I wish you the very best in your careers, and I look forward to your contribution to our economy and to the uplifting of our advanced manufacturing sector.
Hey, hi, good morning, everyone. Yeah, my name is Lai King here, and I'm the business manager for the Additive Manufacturing. Yeah, welcome to join our session today. So in the next 10 to 15 minutes or so, I will share with you about our WSQ, Graduate Diploma in Additive Manufacturing, which is specially designed to meet the growing needs of the certified skilled manpower for our local industry in Singapore. Next. Now, to obtain the fully certified graduate diploma in additive manufacturing, the participants need to attend all the 5 modules for full qualification here. So module 1, we have this smart AM system. Module 2 on the powder bed AM for metallic component. Module 3, we have the high-speed direct metal deposition technology. Then module 4 is on the polymer additive manufacturing. And module 5, we have the project management. So participants need to complete all these 5 modules. In about 10 months, if you attend all the modules continuously, each module takes about 2 months. Of course, you need not have to attend all in one go. Sometimes due to your work nature or you have other schedule, you can skip the certain what we call the module during the period. But you need to. But in the end, you still need to complete all the 5 modules in order to get obtain the graduate diploma in additive manufacturing. Next. Next. Yeah. Okay. So now I'll go through a little bit into the module content. So for module 1, this is a very important foundational module for all the subsequent module later on. So this module will cover all the technology fundamentals, provide the overview of the entire additive manufacturing process change. And we also will address the standards, qualifications, safety, and health regulation in this module 1. So at the same time, we will also provide the, include the project work for you to do hands-on session, which will make you, which is relevant for your industry applications later on. Next. So in module 2, we will dive into the powder bed AM technology, which will especially cover the binder jet technology, selective laser melting technology, as well as electron beam melting technology, which are currently these technologies are the current industry standard for additive manufacturing. So this module will also conduct practical sessions and project work for your hands-on industry experience. So in module 3, we will cover in detail the direct metal deposition for additive manufacturing using laser or electron beam or plasma arc technology. In this session, rather in this module, we will also address the certification and the quality assurance of the printer parts, as well as the post-processing design for manufacturing and tool path planning. So in this module, we will have a project-based case study for your industry applications. So in module 4, later on, Dr. Ng Feng Ling will share with you in more detail because this module will be starting in early June this year. So Dr. Ng is a module leader and she will later on share more in detail about this module with you. So in module 5, we will have the industry expert to share the project management skill, which is very important in today's increasing complex and dynamic manufacturing environment. So this is one of the, I will call it the soft skill module to complement with the skill-based module of module 1 to module 4 to make the complete graduate diploma certifications. So the participants will be awarded with the graduate diploma in additive manufacturing after successfully completing all these 5 modules. So alternative, I understand some may not want to get the full graduate diploma. You only want to attend only some selective module. You will still be awarded with the WSQ statement of attainment for passing any of the individual module of your own choice. But of course, we will encourage all of you here who want to participate to go for the full graduate diploma in this technology. Okay, so this slide will show you the cost fee of this what we call or the various module. So you can see module 1, the total fee is 5,000. Module 4, and even up to module 5, which is also $4,000. But these are before the SkillsFuture funding and GST. So we have a full suite of these cost funding schemes here. So for Singaporean residential, permanent residents and long-term visit pass plus holder, you can enjoy the SkillsFuture funding of up to 70% of the cost fee. Then if you are sponsored by SME, you are working in SME, the company is going to sponsor you. We have this enhanced training support for SME where the funding will go up to 90%, where the company will only pay 10% of your cost fee. Then if you are 40 years old and above, then you also can have this mid-career enhanced subsidies scheme will also subsidize up to 90% of the cost. In other words, you only pay 10% of the entire cost fee. So likewise for Singaporean, especially for those who are self-sponsored, Singaporean that is 25 years and above, you are also eligible for the SkillsFuture credit that can be used to offset the cost fee as well. So if, for example, if you are 25 years old, you are doing self-sponsored, that means you are not sponsored by the company, you can use your SkillsFuture credit on top of the SkillsFuture funding. So you will only pay about 10% of the entire cost fee. So it is a very good subsidy scheme that really help to defray the cost of this graduate diploma certification. So this one just give an example, just an example here. Let's say you are a Singaporean, okay, you are sponsored by the SME. So the net cost fee, okay, for module 1 after the GST will be $605. Module 2 will be $484. Module 3, $484. Module 4 also $484, and module 5, $484. Now, so the total cost fee, net cost fee, right, after the subsidies, it will be $2,541. That's including the GST. So in other words, the company will only pay $2,541 for the entire cost. So the full cost fee is about $21,000 without subsidies. After subsidies, under the SME scheme, you only pay $2,541, which is in fact a very, very good deal to get the graduate diploma. Next. So SimTech has a solid track record in providing certified training courses to industry, and we have more than 30 years of experience working with industry partner and train more than 5,000 PMETs. So I'd like to highlight here is that in SimTech, we have a full suite of the latest state-of-the-art additive manufacturing equipment for the participant like you to learn and do the project work under the guidance of our very experienced and knowledgeable researcher and scientists. Now, over the years, through with the course module that we provided, we have also received many endorsements from the industry, okay, for the all the courses that's conducted here. So these are some of the samples testimonials. Our AM course is also no exception. So we believe our certified gadget diploma course will help you in your skill upgrading and hopefully your career advancement as well as employability. So we hope that your what we call the your value will also be enhanced when you finish and obtain our these graduate diploma in additive manufacturing. Next. So this is my last slide. Basically, I want to share with you will be the next training course for on module 4 will be in on June the 2nd to 31st July. So we hope that you can sign up this course, which is starting in 2nd June. So these are the sign up link is all here. The training venue, we have 2 locations. One is at the Fusionopolis, and the other one will be at the Nanyang Drive inside the NTU campus. Basically, the hand-on session will be at the Nanyang Drive because this is where all our equipment reside there. So we certainly look forward to your signing up of our AM course, and please take note of the signing link here, a registration link here. And yes, we will, especially the module 4 that's coming out on the 2nd of June. So we look forward to you signing out here. And this is I'll end my presentation. And later on, Dr. Ng Fong Ling will share in more detail about the module 4. Thank you.
Hello. Hi, everyone. This is Feng Ling from SimTech, and today we would like to share with you our upcoming Module 4 of this graduate diploma for additive manufacturing. So Module 4 covers the polymer-based additive manufacturing processes for mainly for flexible mass customization or even for small volume production. Right, so you might be wondering, why do we do additive manufacturing, or why should you sign up for additive manufacturing? So based on the Lux research report, right, 3D printing has been around for a good 10 over years, and we have already seen it moving from a simple prototyping, right, to mass production, or rather to small volume production. So the reason why people are adopting additive manufacturing for high mix, low volume production is because of the nature of the fabrication process, and therefore there is an uptake, or there is an increase in demand and for industries to look into this technology. So a key takeaway from Lux, right, is that 3D printing, although has been creating prototypes or even molds and tooling for automotive industries, it is now increasingly being used to manufacture actual products because of its because it enables printing of complex structures, customization. It gives better performance, right, because of the design that we can incorporate into additive manufacturing, and it is of a even lower cost. So you might be wondering, why is additive manufacturing of a lower cost? It's because you could print on demand, and there is no need for you to fabricate die or mold set for metal or polymer conventional manufacturing techniques, right? So recognizing the trend of 3D printing, therefore we have seen a significant number of participants joining the additive manufacturing program. Right, so next it's Forbes, right? Forbes reported that the next 25 trends, right, additive manufacturing as one of the next 25 technology trends that will define the next decade. Well, reason being is because now consumers always want something different from the public, right? So there is a need for mass personalization, mass customization, and additive manufacturing enables you to do so. So on the right, you see over here, it's so on the right, you see over here, it's 3D printing of the insole, right? So because everybody's the art of your sole is different, the shape of your feet is different. So additive manufacturing enables you to do this, right? And then there is also a trend for 3D printing and even 4-dimensional kind of printing. So keeping abreast of the information will definitely boost your employability, right? So another outlook for additive manufacturing is like, although like I mentioned, 3D printing was once used for prototyping and tooling, it is now increasingly being used for end use parts and products. So back in 2016, right, so what we see is really very conventional prototyping, mold and tools used in automotive, and very small use for end use product. But moving forward to 2025, what we see is really an increase in end use product, right? And not so much of prototyping because this shares it actually increases. More and tooling, it's also pretty much the same percentage used, right? So because of this, right, we do see a trend that people are really moving into additive manufacturing to do this high mix, low volume production. So like I mentioned, the various kind of industries or sectors. Over here on the x-axis, we see industries like aerospace, automotive, construction, dental, medical, consumer, architectural, and others, right? So aerospace is definitely one of the industries that have a high increase and uptake of the pickup for additive manufacturing. Reason being the parts, right? If were to fail, they would have to order from OEM. So it's very difficult and troublesome to order them in. So why not just 3D print them if it's it can be delivered immediately and they don't need high volume, right? So automotive is mainly using additive manufacturing for mold and tooling, right? So if you attend our course, I will share with you what are some of the industries using them for. Construction is mainly on ceramic 3D printing. Dental has been around, so a lot of dentures are now already moving into additive manufacturing. Yeah, medical is another uptake because of the size, right? Any individual is very different. Like the anatomy for Asian and European is also different. So a lot of the medical devices fabricated for Europeans or Americans will not be able to fit into the Asian anatomy. So therefore, in this context, there is an increase in additive manufacturing printing of devices in Asia to suit our local anatomy. So consumer is mainly because of mass customization, and people are using consumers are mainly interested to have something that is personalized to their names or their favorite colors and their designs. Yeah. So architecture has also been around for a while, but the uptake is limited. Yeah. So all in all, with this uptake in various industries, therefore we strongly encourage PMATs to uplift their skills and keep abreast of the advanced manufacturing information. So lastly, to share why is it important to be abreast and to know what is up, right? What is at the forefront of technology is because Singapore has well invested, right, close to 35 billion for research and innovation, right, for the next 5 years to secure Singapore's future. And one of the key pillars is still manufacturing, trade and connectivity. So having said that, PMATs, right, professionals, engineers, technicians, managers who are in manufacturing will then have to continue to be ahead and advance and be abreast of the information, at least, so as to keep up to the requirement and fast moving pace of manufacturing. And having seen the fundings available by government, it's also an assurance that manufacturing, right, would still be one of the key pillars in Singapore. Right, so just now I shared with you why do we look into additive manufacturing, why do you still continue upgrading your skills in advanced manufacturing. So basically those are some of the key takeaway that could probably justify your questions. So now a little bit on module 4, which is on the polymer-based additive manufacturing. Myself, I'm the trainer, so I'm Feng-Ling, a research scientist with SimTech. So I've received my PhD in material science, NTU, and I have been working with closely with industries, right, for on polymer processing, characterization. So that's mainly my area of interest. I've also worked closely with various industries like aerospace, biomedical to see the translation of technologies to end part realization. Right. So that is my area of interest. And for Eugene, who is my fellow trainer, right, he is a senior research engineer with SimTech, and he received his bachelor degree in chemical and biomolecular engineering, also from NTU. He is mainly a chemical engineer, right? His area of interest is on laser processing. So if you are aware of additive manufacturing, laser processing is one of the key technology in additive manufacturing. So he has vast experience on laser processing of various type of materials, be it powder, dissimilar materials or polymeric materials. And he has also found various TDs which has been adopted by industries. So before I go into module 4, I just want to give everyone a brief introduction on what is additive manufacturing and what are some of the categories. Right, very quickly, there are 7 categories of additive manufacturing. One of it is wet polymerization, which is resin polymerization. If you were to attend M4, we will cover one of these technology. So powder bed fusion, over here, which you see is a selective laser sintering. So just now I mentioned my colleague Eugene is familiar with selective laser sintering. So this is the powder bed fusion technology. We have material extrusion. Right? So myself, I am very familiar with this technology. Right? Be it FFF of FDM, we will share in greater details on what is this. Then we have binder jetting, right, which is the jetting of binders to powder. Material jetting, which is project. So in M4, we will also cover material jetting. Sheet lamination. Sheet lamination is a layering of various sheets. So because AM is a layer by layer additive manufacturing approach, so this is also one of the categories. Then lastly is directed energy deposition. So this is mainly covered by the metal M3 module. So in this M4, what we will cover, right, we have 15 sessions. And so I'm going to share with you all the 15 sessions, what you will be attending. So first of all, I will start off with an overview of the polymer additive manufacturing processes as well as its various applications. Then we have an e-learning platform, just only one session, where we will share views on selective laser sintering, the material, process, and the hardware. Then next, we will go into material extrusion, right? What is material extrusion, the fundamentals, process, what hardware is involved. The 4th session would be on the actual use of this the slicing software, the post processes involved in a material extrusion technology. Next, we have material jetting, which is project. And then we have powder bed fusion, which is selective laser sintering on how to prepare the files, how do you slice the files. Right, we have wet polymerization, which is the first one of the 7 categories. The first one that I shared, I will be sharing with you the materials involved, the process, hardware. And then we have the hands-on of wet polymerization, which is the slicing software for wet polymerization. Session 8 is mainly on the practical lab session of polymer additive manufacturing. So the practical lab session would include the actual use of FDM, the actual use of wet polymerization, the actual use of selective laser sintering. Of course, you won't be using it independently yourself. There will be colleagues, engineers besides you to share with you the actual processes. Of course, you are free to toggle around with the machines. Yeah. Next, we would also invite to share with you. This is just very basic kind of bio 3D printing. So you probably will have heard a lot on bio 3D printing, people printing organs, tissues. So this is a good one session experience for you to understand what is this about. And then we have practical lab sessions to perform the characterizations of the part, right? Various characterization like thermal analysis, mechanical, surface profilometer. So those are some of the characterizations that we would incorporate. Then lastly, because WSQ, right, it's really learn, implement, right? So we want you to implement whatever you have learned to through the demonstration of project work. So over here, we will share with you some of the project work topic that you can choose from, and then to share with the trainers like myself, what is the technique that you will use, generate our report and presentations slides. Right, and then lastly, on the 14th session, you would have industry case studies for polymer AM products, right? So for we would invite an external vendor, right, to share with you what are some of the real case application, who are those, and what is the more in depth in terms of the industrial aspect of things, like what is the requirement if you were to install and start up a 3D printing facilities and etc. Then lastly, we will end off with a competency assessment. So this competency assessment, we will have you will have to complete the first half, right? It's a 3-hour program, 3-hour test. So the first half you will have to fulfill assessment questions. Then this is followed by a presentation of whatever you have learned. Yeah, so from here, you could see that the whole module 4 is very comprehensive. We introduce you the various techniques of polymer additive manufacturing and then how you can apply it. It's not just you doing it yourself. You will have trainers beside you to guide you on who can actually do, how can you actually apply whatever you have learned to the actual project work, right? Then to share with your fellow classmates or even your trainers on your understanding that this is how we learn and grow together. Some of the example of project work would be something like this, right? So we have a custom jewelry made of gold. So it is one of a kind ornament. So traditionally, master craftsmen, would then design and then craft these custom jewelries. But then this kind of skillful master craftsmen do not, it's getting lesser and lesser. So jewelers has actually adopted, right, additive manufacturing as an alternative method in the custom jewelry fabrication process chain. So here, this is an example of the jewelry, right? And then we will give you this part design. So you will have to share with me what kind of additive manufacturing will you be using, and then how do you go about doing it. So all this will be covered in the course itself. Yeah. And then lastly, I would like to end off with some of the testimonials from our participants, right? So we have participant A claiming that, this Simtex AM course conducted is of good quality, right? And the trainers tirelessly effort in delivering the course. So, and then we have our participants sharing with us that he have found a job with SUTD on this composite 3D printing, right? And then we have also shared our trainees, right, share with us that they gain a lot of understanding on the advancement in the field of 3D printing, and he was also happy that he is part of this course. Yeah. So these are some of the testimonials from our participants, like how they have benefited from the program and how they have actually grown. So we have quite a number of participants, right, really moving into additive manufacturing after learning from this course. Yeah. So that's all for my sharing. Is there any other questions from the participants?
Thank you so much for Ning. Right, so right now we're going to take Q&A from the participants. If you have any questions, anything you want to ask about the program, whether it's about the funding sequence, the modules, whether it's full-time or part-time, or any details about the program or additive manufacturing, 3D printing they may have, feel free to ask the questions. You can either do a raise hand function or type in the chat box or the Q&A box. We can address it from there.